I actually DM him and I DM Jermaine Dupri. I'll definitely manifest it and bring it.
Super CMG!
Welcome to the family.
So actually, I was in college for nursing. So I started off in college, wanted to be a nurse, but that's when I started to post the videos and started to get love. I feel like I was just doing what I love to do.
Welcome back to StarHush. Y'all, hold tight. Yo Gotti's alleged side chick just snatched the spotlight from Angela Simmons in the boldest way possible. Word is, fans discovered the identity of Gotti's mystery baby mama, his own artist, Layla Samia. And Layla isn't playing. She just dropped a steamy clip of her and Gotti looking very cozy, if you catch my drift. It's messy and it's loud, and Angela's left scrambling while Layla's riding that drama train full speed ahead. Now, Angela's been acting out big time, crying public tears and posting cryptic tweets, and Layla seems to be reveling in every second of it. Meanwhile, Gotti, he's silent. You'd think after chasing Angela for so long, he would have put a ring on it or at least stayed committed, but nah, instead, he's out here living like he's single again while Layla drives the narrative. Hold up though, this thing runs deeper than just looks and loyalty. Layla's dropped the biggest twist. She's claiming Gotti is actually her baby daddy. If this is true, we're talking full-blown scandal. It's not clear why Layla chose now to step out publicly and say all this. Some folks think she's all about that hustle, riding the heat to boost her music career. Her album War in the Streets drops soon, and suspicious minds are saying this explosive reveal is timed to go peak viral around that release. She's allegedly been throwing shade at Angela online, posting subliminal messages like, "It's a battle rap track." Even if Gotti and Angela stay silent, Layla's out here sliding up on the mic of public attention, praying that the noise turns into traction for her next hit single or collab. And word on the street is, Layla allegedly flooded Angela's inbox with pics and clips of her and Gotti getting cozy in bed, straight up taunting Angela with receipts. The first time Layla dropped those visuals, things blew up so bad between Gotti and Angela that she confronted him in person. Now that's drama, but here's where it gets even juicier. Some fans caught on that Angela was struggling to keep up appearances. In fact, back in 2023, the blog Gospel of the City spilled some tea. Either Angela and Gotti had split or she was getting cheated on because he was spotted with a nurse boo in Vegas at the Aria Hotel. Turns out that nurse boo wasn't some random fling, it was Layla. Get this, Layla studied to be a registered nurse in college before Gotti signed her to his label, so she couldn't fully leave that past behind. Once things got heated, she allegedly used that nurse image as part of the cover, making people think Gotti was just out with his medical friend. But insiders say it was all part of Layla's plan to stay under the radar, and now she's dropping the receipts to prove what went down. Angela's been quiet, probably trying to figure out how to respond without making things worse. Gotti, also silent, maybe stuck in his own mess. Meanwhile, Layla's playing a high-stakes game, releasing content, clapping back at Angela, and driving home the message that she snatched the whole package, including a baby mama title.
What was your initial plan? Because I watched one of your interviews, you said Yo Gotti found you because, like you said, you were doing your lay mixes, your covers of already popular songs. So when you hit the gram with it, was that your idea, somebody's gonna find me, I'm gonna get signed?
So actually, I was in college for nursing. So I started off in college, wanted to be a nurse, but that's when I started to post the videos and started to get love. I feel like I was just doing what I love to do.
So let's talk about how this mess started spiraling, because trust, the math is starting to math a little too well now. After that first breakup caused by Layla's bold move with the receipts, Angela still took Gotti back. Yup, she forgave him. Why? Because Gotti came back real smooth, lavish style smooth. Man went all out for her birthday, and I mean all out. Word on the street is that Yo Gotti dropped close to $500,000 on Angela just to get back in her good graces. We're talking about next level flexing. One of the wildest gifts? A crocodile skin Himalaya Kelly Birkin bag. Yes, that bag. The one that screams wealth louder than a private jet. Worth almost $300,000 by itself. And he didn't stop there. He paired it with a diamond-encrusted Himalaya watch worth around $100,000. All custom, all rare, all drama-proof, or so he thought. A close source spilled, she was absolutely stunned when she opened the gifts. and added that Gotti loves to go all out for Angela's birthday. He's very intentional and wanted to get her gifts that were exclusive and rare to show how serious he was. And yeah, that kind of move does soften a broken heart, even if it's just temporary. They patched things up, got back on lovey-dovey terms, and Gotti was out here swearing up and down that he was done with all the cheating. "You my one and only," he allegedly told her. But baby, that promise didn't even last the season. Turns out, while he was giving Angela that luxury princess treatment in the daylight, he was still allegedly creeping around with Layla after hours. On the low. And here's where it gets deeper. Fans believe Layla always had a thing for Gotti from the jump. In fact, in a resurfaced interview, Layla admitted she manifested a relationship with Gotti before they ever linked up. She said she used to visualize it, speak it out loud, and even journal about it like she was calling him into her life. That's not just coincidence, that's calculated.
Are you big on manifestation?
Yeah.
I asked that because I watched the interview, one of your interviews too. You said you once DM'd Yo Gotti as one of the people you were like,
Yeah.
and that he eventually, opened it once he found your music. So speak on that one.
I actually DM him and I DM Jermaine Dupri. I
you
definitely
bring-
manifested and praying.
But wait, it gets even messier because this situation goes way back. Let's rewind to 2022 when Layla officially became the first woman ever to sign to Yo Gotti's CMG label. Yeah, she wasn't just some random side fling, she was on payroll, under his wing, and clearly on his radar long before all this drama blew up. Now here's the twist that had everybody raising their eyebrows. Just weeks after she inked that deal, Gotti hit her with a wild gift. Not just any welcome to the label basket or some flowers. Nah, he surprised her with a pink Lamborghini. You heard that right. A fully customized, eye-popping, head-turning pink Lambo. People were shook like, is this a label signing or a love story in disguise? Because let's be real, that's not your average industry welcome gift. That's the kind of ride you buy when you're trying to impress, not just do business.
Super CMG!
Welcome to the family.
How we doing?
Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family.
How would you do that? She said I'm a G. I don't cry.
Ain't no time to cry, man. We gotta get this money. Hey, look, ain't no time to be crying. We gotta get this.
Now this situation had social media spinning. And not in a good way. People were side-eyeing hard because when Gotti gifted Layla that flashy pink Lamborghini, it didn't exactly scream strictly business. Come on, label execs don't just hand out luxury whips to new artists like it's a mixtape release, especially when most folks in the industry are out here still fighting over basic contract rights. Let's put this in perspective. Even Beyoncé, who runs a tight and respected label, signed Chloe and Halle for a 6-album deal that only came with a $1 million payout total. That's like $500,000 each for 6 whole albums. Meanwhile, Gotti's out here dropping car keys like party favors. Fans started whispering, was it about the music or was there a little more extracurricular activity happening behind the scenes? And it wasn't just the Lambo. Gotti had been spotted engaging with Layla's posts way more than any of his other artists, dropping likes, popping up in comments, you name it. Not to mention he also laced her with a diamond chain and some luxury gifts. It wasn't long before folks began piecing things together and suspecting they had a deeper connection. And not just in the studio, but hold up, there's more to this messy puzzle. Word on the street is that Gotti got a side chick pregnant, and guess who fans believe it might be? Yep, Layla. The timeline started syncing up a little too perfectly. Around the same time the pregnancy rumors were heating up, Layla was also spotted with a growing belly, and fans were clocking the receipts. And here's where it gets wild. The internet detectives came through. Digging through old photos, timestamps, and comments, they started connecting dots nobody thought to look at before. Turns out the so-called coincidence looked more like a straight-up confirmation. Layla, who once looked like just a rising artist under Gotti's wing, was now being labeled the rumored baby mama. And trust, Layla found out real quick that when fans start sniffing drama, they go full FBI mode. Screenshots, old tweets, baby shower hints, you name it, nothing got past them. She's been dodging the question for months and still won't say who her baby's father is. Fans been pressing Layla non-stop, but she just won't spill. And that silence, it's making folks even more suspicious. People are convinced she's hiding the truth because the man is either locked into another serious relationship or he's a high-profile celeb who can't claim her publicly without setting off a media firestorm. Now, when fans started connecting the dots, it wasn't hard to do the math. Gotti's name kept popping up like a flashing neon sign. The timeline, the vibe, the sudden shift in Angela Simmons' behavior, it all started adding up. Especially after Angela started acting completely out of character. That wasn't heartbreak. That was betrayal, full on. And not just any betrayal, but betrayal with someone she probably had met, smiled at, maybe even hung out with. That's a gut punch with extra sting. Let's rewind the tape real quick. Gotti chased Angela for years like she was the last queen on earth. That man wasn't shy about it either. He let the whole world know he had a thing for her. Remember back in 2015 when Gotti dropped that infamous line in Down in the DM? He didn't just hint at it, he said it loud and proud. I just followed Angela Simmons. Boy, I got a crush on Angela Simmons. Fans went wild when that track dropped. He wasn't just talking slick either. That line had everybody buzzing. People thought it was just a bar, but Gotti was dead serious. He was making moves in real life. He slid into her DMs, kept the pressure on, and made sure she knew he wasn't playing around. It was a whole campaign, posts, interviews, even popping up at events like a man on a mission. And the wild part, fans were rooting for them. Folks actually wanted to see Angela give him a shot. It had that fairy tale vibe. Street king meets businesswoman royalty. Everybody was watching to see if she'd give in. But Angela, she curved him like a WNBA crossover, left that man on scene. Not a like, not a repost, nothing. Radio silence. People were guessing maybe they were keeping it low-key or trying to dodge the spotlight. But eventually, Angela stepped forward to clear it up. She said it straight. She was flattered by the attention, but she wasn't interested. She wasn't feeling him like that. Point blank, Gotti might have been shooting his shot, but Angela wasn't catching any passes. Still, rumors kept swirling. Folks weren't buying the just friends line, especially not after hearing whispers they were having private convos behind the scenes. Something was definitely brewing. Fast forward a few years, and suddenly Gotti's birthday gifts start hitting six-figure price tags, Angela's flexing Birkins and watches, and everyone's thinking, okay, maybe they finally made it official. It was looking like a happy ending, until Layla stepped into the spotlight with all this heat. Things started heating up when Angela invited Yo Gotti to the launch party for her brand FFI, and let me tell you, it wasn't just some casual friend zone type of moment. Gotti pulled up like a boss, cameras flashing everywhere, and the two of them looked way too cozy for it to be just business. People were looking at those pictures like, wait a minute, what's really going on here? Now, considering how Gotti had been publicly crushing on Angela for years, fans were already on high alert. This launch event, that was like pouring gas on the fire. You could feel the buzz all over social media. Everyone was convinced that Gotti's long game was finally paying off. It was like watching a celebrity love story unfold in real time, and fans were eating it up. From his lyrics and Down in the DM to this public appearance, everything screamed, I got her now. It looked like Gotti had gone from admirer to main man. But then, boom, Angela hit the brakes real quick. She stepped in, cleared the air, and told everyone to pump the brakes on the romance talk. According to her, Gotti showing up was nothing more than support. No couple goals, no relationship tea, just respect, plain and simple. But fans weren't buying it. The way he looked at her, the way she smiled back. Nah, that wasn't just friendly energy. People were zooming in on every photo, analyzing body language, comparing it to their just friends claims. Angela's attempt to keep it low-key only made folks more suspicious. To them, it looked like a classic soft launch before going public. And then you got the behind-the-scenes talk, industry folks whispering that they'd been texting for months before the event even happened. Insiders claimed Gotti had been flying her out, sending gifts, showing up at private dinners. One person online even posted, Gotti didn't just show up for her brand, he showed up like a man staking his claim. That statement alone had folks debating for days. It wasn't just fans stirring the pot either. Celeb blogs, gossip pages, and even Angela's own comment section lit up like fireworks. Some people were rooting for them, others warning her to stay cautious.
Yeah, he came to my event.
We saw he gave you some flowers.
Yeah, they were really nice.
But y'all not together in that?
No.
He shot his shot though.
He's a nice guy, and I'm flattered by everything going on.
Now here's where it got real messy, because Gotti himself actually confirmed a lot of what Angela had been saying all along in her interviews. He straight up admitted that, yeah, he had been putting in work, sending her flowers, flying out gifts, pulling out all the stops, trying to shoot his shot. But in the end, Angela just wasn't feeling him like that. She curved him gracefully, but made it clear from jump that the romance lane was closed off. At first, people actually felt kind of bad for Gotti, like here's this man pouring it on thick for years, dropping bars about his crush and getting curved softly but consistently. Fans were out here calling him king of persistence, like he was writing a love story in real time. But then the story flipped, and not in his favor. Out of nowhere, word hit the blogs that Gotti hadn't exactly been keeping it 100%. Turns out, the image of a single available man chasing love wasn't the full picture. During an interview, he casually let it slip that he gave one of his baby mamas a $100,000 Valentine's Day gift. Like, pause. You don't just casually bless someone with 6 figures for V-Day unless there's still some kind of energy there. That raised a lot of eyebrows. He didn't say they were still together, but let's be real. Who just hands over $100,000 with 0 strings attached? That's not casual. That's a we still got history kind of move. And suddenly, all that sympathy people were sending Gotti's way, it dried up real quick. People started connecting dots that hadn't lined up before. Maybe Angela wasn't just curving him because she wasn't into him. Maybe she knew he was still tied up in a situation, even if he was pretending otherwise. And if she peeped that from early on, her stepping back made perfect sense. Angela's always been about protecting her peace, and if Gotti came with that much baggage, she wasn't unpacking it. But just when folks thought the story was settling, Angela spun the block with the ultimate plot twist. Out of nowhere, she announced she was engaged. Like what? Nobody even knew she was dating anyone seriously. No soft launch, no mystery man handpicks, nothing. Just a whole fiancé revealed out the blue like a season finale cliffhanger. Social media was stunned. And before anybody could even blink, Angela doubled down with a second bombshell. She was pregnant. Back-to-back reveals that had the timeline shook. It was giving, I move in silence like real queens do. Everyone was scrambling, trying to figure out how she managed to keep it all so under wraps. And you already know what fans started saying. Gotti had to be somewhere in the booth with the lights off, phone on do not disturb, hoodie up, crying into his own playlist titled Cold Crush Chronicles or Heartbreak in HD. Like bro chased Angela for years, publicly, then got curved, and when she did find love, it wasn't with him. It was a total mic drop moment for her. Angela's surprise engagement and baby news weren't just personal milestones, they were power moves. She told the world without saying a word, I'm not waiting on nobody's timeline, I'm building my own. And whether it was intentional or not, it had fans rethinking everything they thought they knew about her and Gotti's situationship. After all that time Gotti spent gassing Angela up, years of bold lyrics, public shoutouts, and full-blown crush energy, she hit him with the ultimate shocker. Out of nowhere, sis showed up with a whole fiancé and a baby bump. It was like she hit skip intro on the whole love story he was trying to write. That had to sting hard. Gotti definitely didn't see that one coming, and the streets say he was low-key crushed. The way she dropped the news so effortlessly probably had him wishing he kept them feelings private. But instead of holding it in, Gotti let it bleed into his music. In his track, Save It For Me, he poured it all out, rapping, "That's my number to Angela. I thought I had her, man cuffed to marry. It made me mad. I respect it, I'm moving on. But the truth is, I want to obey her. My baby mama was pissed. I ain't heard the last from her." Yeah, it was giving emotional damage, for real. Like, he straight up admitted he was still messing with his baby mama while pining over Angela. The nerve. You're over here sending $100,000 gifts to someone else, then catching feelings because Angela didn't wait around for you? Make it make sense. But here's where it really turns up. The moment Angela's engagement hit the blogs, fans went full FBI. And what they found about her fiancé, who? The tea was scorching. Dude had a past that made people do double takes. We're talking a rap sheet with serious charges, stuff involving physical altercations and some high-key legal troubles. It was not a good look, especially for someone like Angela, who's always had that polished, family-first spiritual vibe. People were shocked, headlines exploded, social media was crawling with questions like, how did Angela Simmons end up with him, and does she know about his past? It was a whole scandal. Folks who had supported her for years were now genuinely worried, saying she was moving too fast and ignoring major red flags. But Angela, she stood 10 toes down. She didn't run, didn't hide, and she didn't let the criticism shake her. She went public defending her man, telling everyone that yeah, he made mistakes, but he was working on himself, trying to be better. According to her, he was on a path of growth and redemption, and she believed in giving second chances. Still, the internet doesn't sleep, and just when people were trying to process all that, more drama hit the fan. Rumors started flying that her fiancé wasn't just shady in the past, he might have been out here cheating while she was pregnant. Talk about plot twists. Screenshots and receipts began flooding timelines. DMs, location tags, suspicious photos. It was messier than a love triangle on reality TV. Even with all that buzzing in online, Angela kept defending him. She doubled down on her trust, shut down the noise, and stayed focused on her pregnancy. But behind the scenes, fans could see the pressure was building. From the perfect image to a roller coaster of public opinion, Angela was out here trying to keep it all together, but the drama just kept unfolding. But as the months passed, things started falling apart, and by 2017, Angela finally confirmed the breakup was official. She pulled the plug and went public with it, letting everybody know she was done. The internet immediately lit up, and fans were like, "Oh, this is it. Gotti's time has finally come." After all those years of him staying down, showing love, and playing the patient game, you'd think Angela might finally look his way now, right? Wrong. Angela hit him with the classic, "You're sweet but nah" energy. It was almost painful to watch. She still wasn't checking for Gotti, not even a little. Instead, she started popping up linked to none other than NBA baller Serge Ibaka. Yep! And let's be real, the timeline of that fling was blink and you'll miss it fast. It fizzled out before people could even get used to the idea. So now everybody was like, okay, now it's gotta be Gotti's moment. But guess what? Still no dice. Angela had her own ideas of love, and apparently Gotti wasn't on that list. In 2020, she popped out dating boxer Daniel Jacobs, and that's when it hit everybody. Angela's type? Literally everybody except Yo Gotti. It was starting to feel like a real-life romantic comedy where the main dude never gets the girl, no matter how long he waits. By this point, Gotti had been crushing publicly for over 5 years. That's longer than most folks stay in school. Fans were starting to feel secondhand embarrassment like, bro, let it go. People were ready to take him out the group chat like, he don't need to suffer like this no more. But finally, it seemed like Gotti got the memo. He backed off, at least publicly. That's when a new name started making waves, Yaya Sandoval. Word on the street was Gotti had officially moved on, and folks were relieved. It was like the whole internet took a deep breath. No more chasing Angela, no more cryptic posts, just peace. Yaya made it crystal clear she and Gotti were an item when she posted him in her New Year's post, all cuddled up. That little IG drop confirmed it. Gotti was finally done chasing a fantasy and was starting to build something real with someone who wanted him back. Fans were hyped to see him finally putting his energy into a woman who seemed equally invested. The Angela chapter looked closed, or so we thought. A nosy follower once asked, didn't he used to be in love with Angela? And Yaya didn't hold back. She clapped back with, not no more. Real confident, right? But oh, she spoke too soon, because just 2 weeks into the new year, Gotti hit the reverse button and cut things off with her completely. That's right, he dumped Yaya like she was last season's trend, cold and quick. And guess what else was going on during that same time? Angela had quietly ended things with Daniel Jacobs behind the scenes. Yup, no headlines, no drama, just a clean break. And then, it happened. After 7 whole years of waiting, chasing, and getting curved left and right, Yo Gotti finally got his moment. Angela gave him a real chance. And y'all, the switch-up was wild. Angela wasn't just giving him a shot. She started talking about him like she'd been head over heels all along. She was glowing, y'all. In interviews, she talked about being open to marriage and how she was just going with the flow. I mean, I love him, she said. I'm happy. I'm in a great relationship. So yeah, I'm happy. Like I'm cool. I learned in life, you just gotta go with the pace of where you at. She was gushing like a teenager. She even called Gotti her inspiration, saying, he's one of my biggest inspirations. We just get each other. He's a hustler. I love watching him. He inspires me to do better, be better. I think he's a great person. She really believed she found her person, the one she was meant to grow with. But now, the tables done turned again. Because that fairy tale didn't last long, after all the romantic declarations and cozy couple goals, Gotti flipped the script one more time. Only 2 years into the relationship, rumors hit the internet that he'd gotten another woman pregnant. And that woman? Layla Samia, the same girl who's been dropping sneaky shade at Angela nonstop. Imagine spending 7 years brushing a man off, finally giving in, falling hard, going public with your love, only for him to turn around and embarrass you like this. And to top it all off, Angela's now being taunted by the supposed side chick who's allegedly carrying Gotti's baby. It's giving betrayal, embarrassment, and straight up chaos. Now the streets are buzzing. Is Angela gonna walk away and cut her losses? Or is she going to stick beside him through all this mess? Because if Layla really is the baby mama, that's a whole other layer of drama that's not going away anytime soon. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Is it time for Angela to pack it up and leave? Or do you think she's riding this out with Gotti no matter what? Smash that like button if you're living for the drama. Hit subscribe to keep up with the mess. And don't forget to turn on those notifications, my stars and hushers. I'll catch you in the next one.